Going on to the next thing we're going to cook, we're going to do ribeyes, ribeye steaks, and I have two of them right here, ready to go. I'm going to do a couple things before we get started. Right now I'm going to be jumping in before we start the ribeyes. I'm going to be making a compound butter, and I'm going to be compounding them with some fresh thyme and then some fresh basil, fresh out the garden. Let's get into that. Alright guys, we have our butter in here. I started putting some of the thyme in here, and just making the compound butter for the end of the dish. And that's what you're going to be putting and finishing your steak with. So you can really just tear the leaves off. And then we're going to be putting our rosemary in here. And compound butter is basically anything that you want to add, any spice that you could think of that you like, that you prefer. Throw it in, and you're going to see that I just mix it up. And then we're going to make it basically back into a butter. And then I have some garlic here that I already had minced up. Get rid of that. Get some salt because this is unsalted butter that I'm using. So just to have some salt in it. And this is firm butter. So you probably want to use more of a room temp, just so it's easier on you. So I'm gonna finish this up and then show you guys when I'm done. Alright guys, so we have our compound butter all set here. Mixed it all together, and you know, just what you saw: the salt, the thyme, rosemary, and I think that was just about it. And now I'm gonna take this and put in saran wrap and then put this in the fridge, so by the time we're all done with this, it's chilled and ready to go. So just gonna get all of this, and then after this, we're gonna get our ribeye started. We're gonna get the marinade and start marinating it. It's gonna be a dry rub that's on it, and we're gonna get started. All right, so I'm gonna just finish this up and see you when this is done. Alright guys, we have finished the butter, the compound butter up. We are set to put this in the fridge. I'm going to bring the ribeyes over here, start the marinade, explain what's in the marinade. And yeah, so I'm going to go put this white turd in the fridge. It looks like a white turd. And I'll be back for the ribeyes. Alright. Alright guys, we got our ribeyes here ready to go. I'm going to take our marinade, which is right here. And this marinade right here is consisting of, it's going to be a coffee rub, and it has coffee, coffee grounds, sugar, a little bit of pepper, and I have everything right here. Put a little bit of garlic salt, some pepper. I don't know if you guys can see it right here, but yeah, that's what it's going to consist of. I'm going to start it off, and we're going to marinate it heavily, because when you marinate steaks, it loses 30% right as you put it on the grill, the pan, whatever you're going to be cooking it in. It loses about 30% of that flavor that's coming from where you put the marinade. So I'm gonna be marinated very heavily. Couldn't say that word. So it's gonna look like there's a lot, but you know, when you do cook it, it's gonna lose a lot of it. And you want to get everywhere, on the sides. Make sure you kind of mop it up. That's why you're marinating it on a plate, so you can just mop up all of that rub that you're trying to get onto it. Get every side. Especially, you know, the meaty or the fatty part, like that rib part, because it's a ribeye. And the reason it's called a ribeye because it has this rib, this where all this flavor is, all the fat, and then that eye that you can't see right now because all the marinade's on it. But I'll show you on the other piece. You just wanted to soak it in. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward through all this stuff and meet you guys when we're about to go on to the next step. Alright guys, so we have our marinated steak. We're gonna be putting it in the pan right now and letting it cook. So you can see that practically every inch of this is covered in rub. So you want to put it away against you so the oil doesn't come. So it's already sizzling. When you hear it sizzle, you know you're good. You need to hear that sound. If it doesn't sound like that, then it's not ready to be cooked. So we're going to be cooking that. I have the other ribeye right up there. It's going to be going for about 2 minutes, just to have it seared basically on every part of the ribeye. Just going to be waiting for that. I have the potatoes over there. I'm going to be cooking potatoes in that same oil in the same pan as the ribeyes. It soaks up that great flavor. And yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm going to get the tongs real quick. I'm going to be turning this on so it doesn't get smoky in here. Maybe a little too loud. Can you still hear me? Alright. Good enough, right? Alright. I don't really know what I'm going to be cooking next. If you guys ever want to tell me things, more than open to hear it. So, yeah. Steak. Yeah, there was a couple different recipes that I was thinking of doing, and I kind of landed on this. Pretty easy recipe, pretty good recipe. Can't really go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with cooking some steak. If you guys have any recipes that you think that are good with steak, or if there's a rub, or how you cook it, let me know. Love to hear it. Love to hear other ways of cooking things. Because there's really, truly a million different ways you can cook things. And that's what's awesome about cooking. One of my favorite chefs is Gordon Ramsay. I think I got a lot of my tips from him and the way that he cooks. Because I think he's a really good chef. I think he's entertaining. If you guys ever see him. I think that he's a lot more nicer than he appears to be. Because you know how TV is. Yeah. I don't want to touch it a lot. I want it to be kind of resting in its juices and in its marinade or in its rub. And I don't want it to be kind of altered. Because when you start messing with it, then the juices, the rub, it starts to go away. So I think this is just about good. I'm gonna flip it now. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that. Looking good. Alright, now maybe put in the thyme and the parsley on there. Or the rosemary, not parsley. Let's see. We have rosemary, thyme. Because I do have one more other steak that I'm going to do, so I need to have... that should be good for the other steak. And put some garlic in here. Then we're going to finish it off with some butter. You want to cook all the edges around here. Get all the edges being able to cook. It's not a thick steak, so it won't be too hard. But with that butter, you want to get all that juice. And just drench it. And that's really where all the flavor is going to be coming from. This is where it really comes into place. That butter really does it justice. Alright, and it's just about good. So finish up cooking. You want to really get it all drenched in that butter and all the cooking oils and juices. Really gonna make it great. Alright, we still have one more steak we gotta do. So I'm gonna just kind of let this cook just for maybe 30 more seconds because it's done. Alright, now I'm gonna take it out. Lay it on this pan that I brought out. And then just pour this right over it. Let it just soak in there. And I'm going to finish up with this other steak and I will be right back. Alright guys, now we're going to be going on to the potatoes. Same pan that the steaks were cooked in. Steaks are resting right next to it. I'm going to get some potatoes. I'm going to just have them face down onto this oil right here and have it soak up all that juice and all that flavor from the steak and all that rub that was in it. And I cut them pretty thin. It's pretty thin. I wanted to use a different type of potato, but I didn't have them. But these are going to work just as fine. You can see what they look like. I'm going to get a little bit of salt. Bit of pepper, some of the seasoning that we still have left. Just sprinkle it just a bit so it intensifies that flavor that's already being soaked in right now. Just let them cook just for a little bit, just so they get crispy. We're going to throw in some butter in here just to intensify that flavor. Alright. So now we're just going to flip these. So this is what they look right now. And now, on the other side, they're already getting pretty good color. So I'm going to flip them. Alright, and now we're just leave them for a couple minutes. Alright guys, now we're coming to the best part, eating it. I'm gonna get this ready to be plated and let's try it out, see how it is. So the steak, you want steaks. You never want to get a steak and then cut right into it as soon as you're done cooking it. You want the juices. You want the juices to be sitting, because as soon as you cut a steak, right when it's off the grill or off the pan or wherever you're cutting it, all the juices are gonna come out. You want it to sit for 10 minutes, let it soak in its juices. So when you take that cut, the juices aren't coming leaking out, and all that flavor that you would have had if you just let it sit for a little bit, you would have had if you didn't cut it right away. So it's been sitting for about 10 minutes now, and I'm gonna plate it. Potatoes are just about done being cooked, and yeah, I'm gonna take you guys over there and show you over there, and let's go. All right, so now we're gonna plate it. We got the steak right here. Now we got some juices in here that I'm gonna just drizzle. So you don't want those juices to, go to waste. I'm gonna plate this just all around. And they line up perfectly with each other. Almost like they were cut from the same potato. There you go, guys. Let's see, cut into it now. Alright, let's see, guys. Cut from a little angle. So I was going for medium rare. Still slightly pink inside. Alright, give it a taste. If I can cut. Oh, almost forgot. Or compound butter. Could have unraveled it. Cut just a little piece off. Let that melt over there. So now you know what to do with your compound butter. I just want to try just a piece of this. Wow. Great earthy taste from the coffee. I don't like coffee. I never drink coffee. But there's a great earthy taste that comes from it. A little sweet. Great flavors. You taste everything. The thyme, the rosemary, the garlic. Great flavor. Alright, well, now you know, guys. Until next time, if you want to see anything being cooked, let me know. Awesome. We got our potatoes, our compound butter, our ribeye steak, and the coffee ground rub. Alright, guys, stay positive. See you next time.